Yanagi's chest is so powerful that it can defeat a literal god. And believe it or not, you already saw it happen. This is not a drill. Most people would argue that Miyabi is the strongest member in Section 6, but I know that it's Yanagi because she's their biggest asset. In fact, she's so huge that I wouldn't just grant her H Cup, I would grant her World Cup. The ongoing theme of Section 6 is yokai. I don't even need to explain this one, I know y'all are weebs. But if you look deeper, you'll notice that it's actually the 4 core components of the universe: space, time, life, and causality. Okay, I know this might not make sense because you probably thought that the 4 components are something like earth, water, wind, and fire, like a basic ass nerd. But this makes more sense when you think about it in terms of storytelling. Space represents the setting, time represents the era, life represents the characters, and causality represents the plot. List these 4 down and you basically made a story, baby. It's that easy. It's a universal template, that's why it's called world building. And this is actually the theme of Section 6 instead of yokai. Miyabi controls space since she can cut through anything, including the hollows. Also, her sword literally has a domain expansion inside of it. She's like a traumatized space-time USB port at this point. Meanwhile, Yanagi is time because she can control time. Captain Obvious moment. And in fact, that's what happened in this scene. Miyabi swung her blade, Yanagi killed time, spamping Miyabi, and control plus 6. As for Harumasa representing life, well, he's kinda dying, bruh. No, really, that's it. It's not that deep. He's the embodiment of life because in the entire cast, by the way, he's the only one constantly on the verge of losing it. My guy is tanking death like it's part of his daily commute. Wake up, cuff blood, go to work, then file for sick leave. As for Sokaku, oh boy, there's so much evidence as to why she controls causality. Firstly, she eats and eats and eats. She's not actually always hungry. If she was, then she would always be complaining to Yanagi, but she doesn't. If you can control causality, you can keep eating without getting filled. Causality is basically being able to control cause and effect. She can keep eating because she's controlling it into Sokaku eats, and because she eats, she can keep eating. That's not hunger, that's causality, Luke. And if you look up her Cinema 2 ability, it says that her weapon is able to accumulate energy during battle instead of losing it, again by controlling causality. Now, you could interpret this as something R&D made, but if that was the case, then why would Faithon complain about the electric bill all the time? New Airdo wouldn't need to pay for electricity in that case. And the last line makes it so obvious. But for Sokaku, fully charging it simply means it's time to eat. It would be weird to compare it to that unless you're trying to say that the weapon works the same way as Sokaku's eating habits, which is controlling causality. So if Sokaku can trip causality, then she can do so much worse than eat a lot of bean buns. If it comes down to it, she can solo her entire squad and it wouldn't even be a fight. The event flow should be that Section 6 is defeated and therefore Sokaku is victorious. If she reverses that, then the flow would be Sokaku is victorious, and that is why Section 6 is defeated. It's over before it even starts, and that's only part of what Sokaku can do. So without any contest, it's confirmed that Sokaku can solo the entirety of Section 6, and therefore, Sokaku is a god. But every god has a weakness. To defeat your enemy is not to kill them, it's to take away their will to fight. Something shih tzu, I don't know, somebody said it. And Sokaku, she drops everything the moment she buries her face in Yanagi's chest. It's canon. Boob to face contact, boom, calamity averted. That's divine suppression right there. The key to defeating the most powerful thing in existence is Yanagi's boobs. And for that, I grant Yanagi not just H Cup, not even ZZZ Cup, but World Cup. But hey, that's just a shitpost. A really elaborate shitpost.